right, lovely people, let's cook some crazy stuff happening in Ghana. Very, very crazy stuff. This false prophet, whose name is Fire Oja, this young boy, who, at the result of joblessness, he opened church and, lying to his crooks and giving false prophecy all the time. This young man came out and gave what he called prophecy. All of a sudden, he was invited by the president of the nation. I'm like, nah, the nation is doomed. Because if the fraudsters in our country who are holding Bible, I call them fraudsters. Many of them, they are, I understand, defrauding people through manipulation, holding Bible. And these people are able to manipulate the public. That is not enough. And it has gotten to the level where their manipulation have pierced through the nation and hit the leadership. Then we are doomed. I'm being honest with you. If Fire Oja, I'm pulling this out because if this young man will be invited to the president and the invitation is related to the comment he made, which he called prophecy, while Fanti Comedy and Co. has been arrested for the same comment in different version, then I think we are not being fair in this nation. Let me explain myself. Fire Oja came out, and when Fire Oja came out, this is what he said. He said, we are going to bury a president, be it former or new. It's going to be either sitting president or an old president, a former president. That is a threat on its own. Because what if you want to validate it? Of course, he did not mention anybody's name. But what if Fire Oja want to validate his prophecy? The prophecy is not coming to pass. So he want to validate it, then he go undercover to harm the sitting president or harm any of the former president. That is where the conversation should be leading to. Not to be invited, because that in itself is a threat to say that we are going to bury a president. Because we even have a sitting president. That is a threat. But when Fanti Comedy and the Co, they made that statement that they are going to, as for them, they said they are going to do it themselves. That woman said they are going to make sure that the president is dead, the wife is dead and all that. Of course, they need to be arrested. That is perfect. They need to be arrested. But they've been arrested. And this one also making the same statement in different way. Because he is carrying Bible. We are not being fair in this nation. We are not being fair. Fire Oja should not be invited to the presidency. Fire Oja should be arrested. Because that is a threat against leadership. It was not specific, but that is a threat against the new government and the former government. He needs to be arrested. But because he's holding Bible, you see, it's only in our society that we see people you see them speaking intelligently, acting intelligently until they enter the realm of religion, and then the behavior. You ask yourself how. The President John Dramani Mahama, I want to make him understand that you have opened the door for these scammers to continue their job. By inviting this liar, it shows that our presidency is weak. I'm telling you the truth. The president is weak. Our leadership is weak. Because if you can be moved by the words of this scammer that they call Fire Oja, he's not a prophet. He's a false prophet. Honestly speaking, he's a false prophet. Is he not the same man who have been giving some prophecy and then they have been failing? He's a false prophet. So the president inviting him is a complete wrong move, honestly speaking. Because what Fanti Comedy and the Co were discussing is related to the death of a president. That one, they were specific. This man was not specific. So both statements from both sides, from Fire Oja and these guys that have been arrested, both are in the same category. One was specific, one was not specific. Yet one was invited because he's holding Bible. What is wrong with us in this country? So when you are holding Bible, you can make certain statement and go scot-free. But if you make that statement and you are not holding Bible, you should be arrested. The law is not favoring some people and not favoring some people. The law is against some people and not against some people. No way. Mr. President, you have broken the standards set by IGP Dampare, honestly speaking, by giving the chance to this man to come to your house or wherever you met him, shaking hand with him because of his prophecy. And he's a beggar too. I learned that he's asking for car and fuel. He's a beggar too. He's a beggar, a rich beggar, begging for car and all that. It tells you that our nation is actually in crisis. You have opened the floodgate for these people because the term of Dampare, they were so afraid to even utter these doom prophecies. And this guy was not specific, but honestly speaking, he made a threat against the sitting president and the former president. He needs to be arrested, not to be invited. He should have been invited by the police, not the president. It was the greatest mistake that the president did so far since he came to office. Now let's move forward. I saw this is coming from Asiedu Nketia. Asiedu Nketia is saying that some of you, he's talking to the prophet because some of the prophets came out and then, prophecies are now bubbling this time. He said, you are playing a role of God to threaten us with your prophecy. We will take action. You can't take any action when you are already inviting some of them. Your government is inviting some of them already. The president is endorsing them. So what action you want to take? So this statement by Asiedu Nketia is invalid right here. Let me make some conclusion on this particular story of people threatening the president that is going to die and connecting it to this guy that have been arrested, the Fanti Comedy and Co. You see, we are resorted into this because of our petty politics that we have been playing. Honestly speaking, let's put jokes apart. Let us not be political. Let me speak as a citizen of this country. We have landed this way where every citizen can speak and threaten president, sitting president or former president through prophecy or directly through, or let me say in the name of freedom of speech because of our dirty politics. Let's establish that fact. Because the politicians, the way you do your politics in the face of the public, you do your politics in a way that you have created the impression that you are enemies and you even wish death to each other. Yes, it happened during the campaign season. Let me play the video to you. This is it. Sammy Jemfi led the squad, and after leading the squad, Sammy Jemfi and Co, they were singing that God should, kill Ronaldo for them. When you see leaders making this statement and singing with it and entertaining this type of things, wishing death for each other, what do you want the citizens to do? Listen. That's it right there. They are singing and praying that God should kill the president, which means that if they have by that time it was Akufo-Addo, if they had the means to even kill him, they would have done that. That is what they are telling us. Because if you wish that he should be dead, you see the problem? So the problem that we are facing right now with this threat against the president from normal citizens started from the political class. So you are to blame for this. All the arrests you are making is invalid if you don't take steps to correct yourself as political class. Reshape and review the way you do your politics. You are the cause of this problem. All of you, from the head to the toe. The political class I'm talking to. Now let's move to one of the serious problems that we are having, which left our gallant men dead. They have this wonderful 8 men die. It's all about Galamsey. Now watch this on 3 News. Kofi Bentel, that's the name. He made this statement, and the statement actually spoke a lot, has exposed a lot. He said, "We are pretending to be fighting Galamsey. There are allegations that some police personnel, military officers, and MMDCs are complicit in Galamsey activity." All right. I'm taking the first point. We are pretending to be fighting Galamsey. That is a fact. The political class is pretending to be fighting Galamsey. The political class from MPP, NDC. You see, you can't tell me you are taking steps. Those things you are doing in front of us, of course. But you see, you have tried everything. How many years this Galamsey is calculated? How many years has this thing been going on and we are quiet about it? Just ask yourself this question. The government have the power to make arrest. The government have the power to command the military. The government have the power to enforce the law. If I am here right now, the reason why I'm saying that they are playing with it, and I agree with this man when they say the politicians are pretending to fight Galamsey. The reason why I agree with him is because if I sit here and I make a statement about coup d'etat in this country, I will be arrested. So everybody in this country is afraid to make that statement. That is how Galamsey should be treated, because we know that the government have the power to seize you immediately. Even if you are 100 and you are talking about coup d'etat, you'll be arrested, prosecuted, jailed. So everybody is afraid to touch that angle of the conversation. No matter how you have been given freedom of speech, you can't go that far. If we decide to disturb the peace of the nation right now, blocking road and causing chaos right now, the police will come, they will enforce, they will use all forces available to make sure that there is peace. the government have power. So why is it that since you use diplomatic approach, you can't use the military to solve the Galamsey issue? Militarize it, let the military start operation. The reason why they will not take this step is because politicians, they are involved. And they will be giving us camouflage. Camouflage. They will be arresting some Chinese citizens and then presenting them on news for us to tell us that they are fighting Galamsey. No, the people who bought excavators, the politicians, who to me was at the funeral. Shema, who to me, he's a Galamsey. You know, President Mahama, you know, everybody in the NDC, you know. So you people, you are doing, cover me, let me cover you. Cover me, let me, all of you are eating from this Galamsey. You can't tell us anything because so long as you're not able to fight it, both MPP and DC, you are part of this Galamsey. All of you are part. All of you. You are eating from this Galamsey. You are benefiting from this particular dangerous activity going on in our country. And this government will come. Oh, we are going to make sure that we are fighting it. This one will come. It is on and on. What type of nonsense is this? So you are pretending to fight Galamsey. Now 8 ministers are dead in the line of duty. We cannot give these people peace. These people cannot rest in peace. All your crocodile tears cannot give peace to these people if you're not able to stop Galamsey in this country. I watched Ablakwa came out and then Ablakwa made a statement. Ablakwa said, and I quote, "I can confirm that you will witness a fight of unprecedented proportion. President Mahama will lead a ruthless and relentless charge against Galamsey." Mr. Ablakwa, see, we don't want you to be telling us what you want to do because you're already in power. Do it, let's see. We want some of us, we are ready to see the ruthless and relentless charge against Galamsey. We want to see it. We want to see it. That is the only thing that can validate the truth behind your tears in regards to the death of these 8 gallant men. So all those tears and all these things that you are doing, entertaining prophet and, you know, arresting some people and all that, all these communities that you are doing in this country, channel your energy to make sure that the fight against Galamsey ends with immediate effect. And if you want to apply the law should affect both the ordinary citizens and the politicians together with the religious people. I'll say it and say it again. Fanti Comedy and Co. being arrested, and Oja, so-called Prophet Oja, that's small boy, Oja being invited to the president's house, is unfair because Oja needs to be arrested because what he said and what Fanti Comedy and Co discussed is in the same line. The only difference is that he was, Oja, the so-called Prophet Oja, was not specific, but these people were specific. That was the only difference. So you can't arrest one person and then you invite one person. That is rubbish.